into conditions, loops, and while loops. So on W3 schools, we have this way of checking with a double equal sign for things being equal to one another. So I have other ways of checking things. We have an if statement, which is similar to most programming languages. So here we're checking that that B is greater than A, in which case it will get printed on the screen B is greater than A. So that's what we have up here. Alright, so I just went down and I checked out a few other things. So we have an if with an if, so it's like an else. Okay, so it is checking that if A and B are the same, then print that. So here we have if, if, and then final else. So here we're checking if they're the same, and then if none of those two are above, then we'll print that. Okay, so just play with it. So here we can have an if statement on one line, which is awesome. We can have if and else on one line as well. So you could check that out and it prints B. Okay, it would have printed A otherwise. All right, so now we can do and to check that what's on the left and what's on the right return true. We can also check or if A is greater than B or A is greater than C, then it will print. Okay, one of those have to be true. So check this out. You can have where 41 is greater than 10, it will print above, and then it will check that X is greater than 20. So basically how to nest if statements, and we can see it prints above 10 and also above 20. So that was really cool. So they have an exercise here to try stuff out. So we want to check that A is greater. If A is greater than B, then it should print hello world. Show answer. Oops, I keep forgetting to do this because I'm from a Ruby background, so we never had to do that, but I'll get it soon. So there we go. So make sure to add your colon there. All right, so while loop is again a way of looping around through things. So here we have integer I, and we're checking if 1 is less than 6, print 1, and then we increase 1 to become 2, and then we'll check is 2 less than 6, and it will print 2, and then we'll increase to 3, and it's 3 less than 6, and we'll just keep going. Okay, so you can see here it prints 1 to 5 because 5 is the last digit less than 6. So this is a while loop, and it will terminate once the condition is met. So that's how while loop works. We also have a for loop, but to explore, just go through down here. There's a few things that is mentioned. For example, you have a continue statement. So you can say if I is equal to 3, continue, basically skip printing stuff. Okay, so you notice here when I is 3, it skips, so we don't have 3 in here. So continue will basically go back to the while loop, and it will skip anything below it. All right, the for loop. So for loops will work with all our collections. So we have our list, our tuple, our dictionary sets. Okay, so here we have a list, and we can say for everything in a list, go ahead and print it. All right, so you can see we have our apples, our banana, and cherry. All right, so that's how the for loop is written. We can also go through our string, and it will print all the alphabet within the banana on single lines for print. Okay, so again we have break, and break in this case, once x equals banana, it will stop executing there. So cherry will not get printed onto the screen. So that's something worth just knowing. And we're going to, of course, come across all these things later down the line, and it's a good idea to learn them now. So there's also the continue statement, which is similar. And we can also have a range function. So range 6 would take all the numbers from 0 to 5, and that will be range 6, and you can loop through that and print it out. So you can change this to 10, and it will give us the numbers from 0 to 9. So that's how range works. All right, so that's it, guys. I've written down a few tests here, so feel free to pause or go to my GitHub and pull this down and just revise, and just to get a hang of how loops and for loops and so on work. We are, of course, just learning the basics at the moment. When we get down to the point of doing some tests, we'll get to practice this and it will become permanently embedded in our brains. So that's it, guys, for this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson.